Happy 4th of July, everybody. This is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Avengers Mightiest Heroes Season 1, Episode 4, Meet Captain America. So this takes place during World War II. And a lot of these episodes are based off comics. I'm not sure if this one is, and might. I have to go look again. And so this series was very, very good, but it only lasted for 2 seasons because the MCU was getting bigger at that time, and they decided let's have a cartoon series that mimics the MCU a whole lot more. So this got canceled, and that crappy Avengers Assemble got created. And I've never been able to get into Avengers Assemble. I've watched many episodes, and I'm just kind of like, whatever. It's just something that's just off with that series. But anyway, so this is a very unique Captain America episode. This seems like it's based off a comic, so it probably is. You know, been tweaked for modern day and stuff. We get a very old school Cap. Now, what's interesting about this origin story is the flashback. The entire thing, for the most part, is the flashback on a, like, you know, sci-fi futuristic television screen. Who was watching him? Kane the Conqueror. And he's replaying events of Captain America in the 20th century. And it's very unique. It's kind of like, hey, what is Kane up to, you know? And so he's watching. And we get to see everything. We get to see it's like the old, what are them things called where they try to get people to recruit into the military? Well, we see that on TV. Talking about how Captain America was this skinny, scrawny person, and then, you know, he got the super soldier serum and everything, and now he's fighting like the Nazis and the Red Skull and stuff like that. And, you know, it's that old school Ziggy type stuff, you know? Like in the animations, the color palette's kind of crude. You really feel like you're back in the old days, especially when they freeze frame stuff, and it's really unique, and I like that. I like how they built these origin stories for the team before they just jumped right into the Avengers stuff. And so, like, we see Cap and he rescues somebody, and of course, who's he gonna rescue? Logan. Yeah, it's cool. Wolverine gets a cameo on this, and the speaking is Steve Bloom. And so, like, he going by the last name Howlett, you know, James Howlett. So they actually named him by his actual name. And at first I didn't know it was him because he had a helmet on until he said Bub. I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. And so, like, and of course he's his grumpy little self. And so we see Captain America. He's all like, don't worry, I have an inside man in. And so they have to, like, you know, I think they climb like the mountain to get into like the building, because the Red Skull has something in store for them. Well, we see who's the inside man is Bucky. But this Bucky is the very old school version, who was Cap's sidekick. Pretty much Marvel's first and only sidekick. And he is as sidekick as they come. Old dialogue. And he's voiced by Scott Menville, the dude who did Robin and Teen Titans, the animated series. And this Bucky is very, 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 very old school, very plucky, talks way too much, very annoying. And Cap's an adult and he's a teenager, and that's just kind of like those sidekick roles, boy, I swear. So they're inside and they start seeing like a giant monster looking thing that has a collar around it that's electrocuting it. And so they're shocked and they're surprised, and they throw him over the ledge. And it's kind of like, where did this monster come from? And so they're going around like this laboratory, and they're seeing all this weird stuff. And then they see all these other monsters in tubes. And then the Red Skull is there, and he's talking to him. And so Baron von Strucker is there. Is it Baron von Strucker, or the dude who used to wear that purple mask and the sword? One of those Zemo type dudes, you know. And so Red Skull and them tell him, you know, you can fight us, but your little friend's gonna get hurt. So they have to surrender. And so that's when Red Skull is telling his whole plan. Thank God, because like, where do these monsters come from? Somehow, the Red Skull scientists were able to tap into the Bifrost, and they're bringing in all these monsters and creatures from other realms and stuff. And the last one they bring is like a frost giant. So Bucky's being all impatient and wanting to like get the jump on them, but Cap's telling me like, yeah, wait, man, I like this new take on them fighting these like monsters and stuff. It's very unique and it's very different. And so somehow when they're fighting, the cages all get like open, and they have to, and then so everybody's fighting these monsters, the Hydra agents and Cap and Bucky. And so like they find a way to send the creatures back. See, they're able to tap into it because they found like an old relic, and they were able to harness its energy. Once they destroyed the machine, then all the creatures got sent back to where they're supposed to be. So then Red Skull's making his escape, and he's on like some type of like rocket type thing. And so Cap, he jumps on the rocket, and he tells Bucky to stay there. Well, as he's climbing the rocket, he sees Bucky follow him. And so Red Skull hit the emergency latch thing, and you know, one of those little flying seats came up. And so then all of a sudden Bucky's leg gets stuck, and Cap is trying to save him. But then Bucky tells him, you know, the world needs Captain America more than it needs Bucky. And so he kicks Captain America off. The rocket explodes, and then we see Captain America fall into the water and get frozen. And like I said before, man, it's a very unique tale and everything, because you know, it's always getting like changed around and stuff for different like adaptions. And so we see Kang, he is furious. He's all like, how can this like set the course of like, you know, my universe being destroyed? So then he goes, rewinds everything back, and then it feels like he's actually there. I don't think he time traveled. If he did, then he didn't try to alter it. And if he did time travel, he must be cloaked or something. But he's probably on like a giant holodeck or something. So he's replaying everything over and over, because something, he reveals something Captain America does that causes this huge devastation, and in his time gets like erased from like history and everything. And he's pissed because he's all like, I just conquered this time era, and I didn't conquer it just to see it be destroyed. So he gets on his ship and he's ready to like time travel and everything. And so his girlfriend, some princess, she gets sucked up in the time like erasing type thing, and she's erased from time. So he's devastated. So now he's on a mission to go back in time and stop whatever happened. And I like this a lot. Kang was a great villain in this series. I hope the MCU does not botch that. I haven't watched Loki yet, but I saw a clip of Kang, and he was about as gooberish and silly and Marvel Disney baby humor as can be. And so I'm like, no. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.